Hello and welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, for a full Barça news roundup. And it's a big one because we are discussing the topic that every single Barça fan goes to sleep at night thinking about. It's departures. It is freeing up wages in our wage bill. And today we're going to be talking about one confirmed departure, about potential departures to come, and maybe even some salary being adjusted in the first team. All of that is to come, and I really do hope you guys are going to enjoy it. Thank you indeed for tuning in today and for getting involved. Let's do it. But I do want to start, first of all, with the Camp Nou, because we know that for the coming season, we will be playing away from our famous stadium, and that in itself, for a whole season away from a place that we know so well, that has brought us so many incredible memories, that's hard enough. But I just want to show you guys, and I'm sorry to have to do this, but show you some of the photos right now, the ongoing photos from the renovation process, because it's just all happening right now so quickly. And I know that's the point here, to get the work done, to get everything finished as quickly as possible. But the stadium is being torn down in front of our eyes. You can see the stands coming down there, the pitch being absolutely obliterated, and it really is emotional to see that right there. That, like I say, is a stadium that holds so many memories. It's such a historic venue. It's something there that even when you walk down the street in Barcelona, you can see it from an absolute mile away, and just the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. It is something truly special, and I know this needed to happen. I know that we needed to renovate the stadium very badly. It was time, but that doesn't make it any less sad here, seeing all of this disappear before our eyes. But of course, I'm sure that the finished product, when it all is renovated and completed, it will be something very special. And on that, Laporta did say recently that he's 100% sure that the work will finish on time. There have been a few fears about that. Barça are aiming to be back at the Camp Nou for November 2024, and Laporta has even said here that fines have been agreed for every day the construction company there are late on completing the stadium. Every single day they go over, if they do, there's going to be a big fine. But Laporta says there's going to be no problem at all. And he actually said as well recently that he expects the overall cost for the renovation process there, which of course is a big outlay from Barça, to be less than what was originally anticipated. So we have to wait and see if that indeed does come to fruition. Sometimes throughout these projects their costs rise, more things seem to be added on, but let's wait and see if Barça can stay within the original budget for by Barça as we bid to move into a new era. But staying with the present right now, guys, because all summer long we have been waiting every single day right now for departures. That is what we've been really hungry for. We need somebody to leave the club, some wages to be freed up, and finally we have something. Now, it's not a huge sale, granted, but we've got to take what we can get right now, because Alex Collado will be leaving the club this summer. He right there is going to sign now on a free transfer from Barça. He's going to sign for Real Betis. So this right here is another player that we've received no transfer fee for. There's been a few of them of late. It seems really difficult right now for us to get any sort of fees in, because clubs know that we're desperate. That's the bottom line right now. Clubs know that we have to offload players. That does not help us from a negotiating position. But although Collado is leaving on that free transfer, of course the big positive for Barça is that he will be removed from our wage bill. That is so important there from an FFP point of view. And one thing that Barça have been able to secure there from that deal is a sell-on clause there. Should Collado ever move on from Real Betis, Barça will receive 30%. That is a high sell-on clause of any future sale. And I do have to mention as well, guys, one really nice thing from this deal is that Collado has forgiven half of the salary that he agreed to defer during the COVID times there. That is a really nice gesture for the player to do. He's been through a lot over the past few seasons. His chance at Barça never really arrived, did it, Collado? But he's done something really nice there for a club that he clearly respects a lot, loves a lot, and he has now given up half of that deferred salary from COVID times. And it's not even like he was somebody who was earning a huge amount either. So that is really kind of him to help the club, and we all do. wish him the very, very best in this next step. Speaking of departures though, and again following on from this kind of pattern right now of being ultimately desperate to offload players, we move on to Clement Longley, who did actually arrive, like we said yesterday, for pre-season training on the first day. He actually did go through all the tests there at Barcelona, but then in the evening, when training actually began out on the field, he was not there, and Barça have actually given him there several days this week where he doesn't have to come in, because Barça are really hoping we're going to wrap up his exit from the club. Tottenham still remain very, very interested, but Barça seem like they're very, very keen to get more of a transfer fee. They are trying to push for more money there from Tottenham to get Longley. That is what we're working on right now, but as I've said before, you know, we're giving away players left, right and centre. We want the wages, and I think with Longley, he's on extraordinary money. I'm talking here, reports there, 20 million gross salary for Clement Longley. How is Bartomeu able to sleep at night, honestly? He gave a salary of 20 million gross to Longley. That is unbelievable. That is staggering. I still cannot believe it. All of these months later, all of these years later, it does not get any easier to accept. And that is why I think Barca right now, I wouldn't push for too much from Tottenham. As long as they are willing to take Longley off our hands, off our wage bill, do whatever you can to get him on that plane to England. I will drop him off myself because he has to go. And Barca want to wrap it up soon. There has also been quite a few reports today on another player that Barça are quite willing to part ways with this summer, and that is Lenglet Kessie, who of course recently his agent met with the club, and there was ultimately a feeling there that Kessie wanted to continue at Barça. Despite what the club want for him, he still wants to try and make it a success here for at least one more season. But it's interesting today the reports are coming out, and I just wonder here whether Barça are starting to take really, really serious action, because apparently Kessie will not be on the USA tour. Barça, of course, they're going out on a pre-season tour to America, and reports suggest Kessie will not be on the plane as Barça try and push him out of the club there. He has an offer right now from Saudi Arabia. Big, big money on the table there. He's still hesitant about going to play there at this stage of his career, which I understand, because the feeling is that he would like to stay in Europe. He would like to stay at the top level. Even if it does mean leaving Barça, he would still like to go to a top club. And apparently today reports suggesting Chelsea might be interested in him. Although if Kessie wants to go to a top club, then probably Chelsea not really your best bet right now. So we'll have to wait and see again what comes of that, and if Kessie really isn't present on our pre-season tour, before finally we do move on to talk about Marc-Andre Ter Stegen. Because of course this summer, guys, it's not only about departures necessarily that could help our wage bill. We are also very much aware, as we have been now for several transfer windows, that wage reductions could also really help the club right now. We know that Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, along there with Frenkie de Jong, those are the only two players still in Barca's plans, still in Barca's team, who are on those Bartomeu contracts. And those Bartomeu contracts, like we said with Longley, they are a disaster. It's reported that Ter Stegen earns over 300k a week there as the Barcelona goalkeeper, and now that Ter Stegen is set to become, let's not forget, a Barca captain this season, I did just wonder, are the club going to play on that? Are they going to use that captaincy there just to say to Ter Stegen, look, is there any chance we can look into your salary? Is there any chance here we can start to negotiate over a new contract maybe, and you can take responsibility, you can stand up, you can lead as the Barca captain and make an effort for this club? Because it has been reported this morning that Barca now are in talks with Ter Stegen over that high salary, over a new contract, and it has been reported, given Ter Stegen's contract expires in 2025, Barca right now are looking to extend that deal, potentially until 2028. And if they can agree it with Ter Stegen, that would bring down the yearly amount. They wouldn't actually pay him all that much more. They would ultimately spread the cost. And if Ter Stegen does agree to that, it would again be a big, big help to our FFP, to our wage bill. That is what we're striving for. That's what we have been striving for now for as long as I can remember. But it would be a big statement for Ter Stegen stepping up as that captain. I know that he doesn't need to do it. I know that he has a contract. I know that he was given that by the former president, and there's nothing that we can do. But it would be an enormous help here if he, as one of the highest earners at the club now, could help us and agree an extension at the club. Let's wait and see if that will happen. And those right there, guys, are the topics of conversation on Barça right now. He's certainly looking as though it's all about departures right now. We know about the incomings, potential incomings that we're looking at, but we need exits. We need to free up wages. That is the priority. And just let me know in the comments down below, looking at there, the deals potentially for Longley leaving, Kessie leaving, perhaps Ter Stegen and his salary. What do you make of all this? And what do you see happening now over these vital coming weeks? So let me know all of your thoughts down below, your thoughts on our current situation. And of course, guys, I will see you soon with all of the latest updates. I really appreciate all of your support, and for all of you coming back here, I'll catch you soon. But until next time, as always, Visca, El Barça.